Let's get right into it. Number 10. Age-Defying creams. That fancy age-defying cream is basically just an overpriced moisturizer. They hit you with impressive-sounding science words like patented biocellular renewal complex, like they've got scientists in white coats working around the clock to stop aging. But in reality, most of these creams just temporarily plump up your skin with water. It's like putting a wrinkled shirt in a steamy bathroom. The wrinkles disappear for a while, but they come right back. When they say clinically proven and breakthrough technology, they tested it on like 12 people for 2 weeks. That's not science. That's a sleepover party with extra steps. They put the cream in tiny jars and charge you $200 for it. They want you to think it's super concentrated and powerful. In reality, they're just making you pay caviar prices for what's basically lotion in a tiny jar. Their before and after photos are more edited than your friend's Instagram vacation posts, and it's all completely legal. As long as they don't make specific medical claims, they can say whatever they want. Reduces the appearance of wrinkles is totally fine to say. That tiny word appearance is their get-out-of-jail-free card. Do you know what actually works for aging skin? Sunscreen. That $10 bottle of sunscreen will do more for your skin than all these fancy creams combined, but you can't charge $200 for sunscreen, so they don't push that as hard. Number 9. Natural flavors. That strawberry flavor in your smoothie probably hasn't seen a real strawberry in its existence. When you spot natural flavors on a label, you're reading, "We legally don't have to tell you what's in this." Companies take something from nature, like beaver butt glands, tree bark, or fish scales. That vanilla flavor in your ice cream might come from beaver butt glands. The chemical is called castoreum, and it comes from a beaver's castor sacs. The FDA says it's totally safe and natural. They take these natural ingredients to a lab, process them until they're unrecognizable, and create what they call a natural flavor. It's completely legal to not tell you which natural things they used. These natural flavors are often chemically identical to artificial flavors. The only difference is the starting material. If they start with petroleum, it's artificial. If they start with tree bark and end up with the same chemical, it's natural. Companies charge more for natural products. They're taking weird stuff from nature, chemically altering it beyond recognition, not telling you what it is, and charging you extra for it. Number 8. Flushable wipes. Flushable wipes are about as flushable as your grandma's Christmas sweater. They're proudly labeled as flushable and septic safe. But that's like calling a brick biodegradable because you can technically bury it. These wipes don't break down like toilet paper. They're more like tiny, indestructible washcloths determined to ruin your plumbing. When flushed, they travel through pipes like underwater ninjas, gathering other wipes and grease. They form what sewer workers call fatbergs, massive blobs that can grow as big as a bus. In London, they found a fatberg that weighed as much as 11 double-decker buses. Companies can legally call their wipes flushable because technically, they can go down a toilet. That's like saying a cat is microwavable because it could fit inside. These wipes cost cities millions in repairs. New York City spent $18 million in 1 year just dealing with wipe-related clogs. Homeowners get hit with $500 plumbing bills to remove what looks like an underwater yarn collection from their pipes. The companies behind these wipes have been sued multiple times, but they keep pushing these flushable claims because of profits. These wipes are as flushable as your phone, just more expensive in the long run. Number 7. Brand name versus generic medicine. Brand name medicine versus generic medicine is one of the biggest legal scams happening right now. Drug companies spend more money on marketing than they do on actually making the drugs. Take Nexium, the purple pill for heartburn. When it first came out, it cost $300 for a month's supply. The generic version costs $20. You're paying an extra $280 just for that pretty purple color. By law, generic drugs must have the exact same active ingredients as brand name drugs. They have to work exactly the same way in your body. The FDA makes sure of this. When you buy brand name medicine, you're paying for the TV commercials. Generic drugs are made in the exact same factories as brand name drugs, sometimes by the exact same companies. When drug companies lose their patents, they often start making the generic version themselves. That generic ibuprofen might be made by the same company that makes Advil, right on the same assembly line as Advil. Drug companies make tiny changes to their drugs just to extend their patents. They change the coding or combine 2 existing drugs, then market it as new and improved. Meanwhile, the old version becomes available as a cheap generic. Americans could save $44 billion a year by switching to generics. But drug companies spend millions convincing doctors to prescribe brand names. They give them free samples, fancy dinners, and consulting fees to write prescriptions for the expensive stuff. Number 6. Lottery tickets. Your odds of winning the Powerball jackpot are about 1 in 292 million. You're more likely to get struck by lightning while being eaten by a shark during a solar eclipse. The lottery isn't just a game. It's a tax on people who are bad at math and desperate for hope. The government specifically targets ads for lottery tickets in poor neighborhoods. Studies show that households making under $13,000 a year spend about 9% of their income on lottery tickets. That's like spending 1 month's rent every year on pieces of paper that are statistically worthless. The stores keep selling scratch-off tickets even after the big prizes are gone. You could be buying a ticket where it's literally impossible to win the advertised jackpot. And those lifetime prizes they advertise? If you die early, they keep the rest of the money. Some states spend more money advertising the lottery than they do on addiction services. It's like selling cigarettes and using the money to buy more billboards instead of helping people with lung cancer. The government calls it a voluntary tax and uses it to fund education. They're taking money from poor people to educate their kids because they won't properly tax rich people. You're not buying a dream, you're buying a piece of paper that's worth less than the paper it's printed on. Number 5. Rent-to-own stores. That amazing 65-inch TV for just $20 a week isn't the deal you think it is. You're signing up for 156 weeks. That's 3 whole years of payments. Multiply $20 by 156 weeks, and you end up paying $3,120 for a TV that costs $800 at Walmart. Miss one payment, and they can take the TV back. Even if you've paid $3,000 of that $3,120, missing that last payment means you lose everything. These stores strategically set up in low-income neighborhoods. They advertise no credit check, like it's a favor. These stores charge what amounts to 200% annual interest, and it's all perfectly legal, because technically, you're not buying the item, you're renting it with an option to buy. This legal loophole lets them charge whatever they want. These stores aren't selling products, they're selling debt. That $20 a week TV is actually a $3,120 trap. Number 4. Subscription traps. Signing up for a free trial is easier than ordering pizza. Just one click and you're in. But trying to cancel is when things get interesting. These companies make signing up smoother than butter. But canceling is like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube underwater while wearing oven mitts. They show you free trial in big bold letters. The word free triggers something in our brains that makes us click instantly. Then they ask for your credit card, just to verify you're a real person. That's like saying you need someone's house keys just to verify they have a house. When you try to cancel, the website that worked perfectly for sign-up is suddenly experiencing technical difficulties. The cancel button is nowhere to be found, and that customer service number is always experiencing unusually high call volumes. Some companies even make you mail a physical letter to cancel, a letter in 2024. That's like requiring a carrier pigeon to update your Facebook status. The retention specialists are trained to keep you subscribed no matter what. When you say, "I want to cancel," they respond with, "What if we gave you 50% off?" When you insist, they offer a free Bluetooth toaster. The worst part is this is all completely legal. These companies have teams of lawyers making sure they stay just on the right side of the law. That free trial is like a free puppy. The puppy might be free, but you'll be paying for years to come. Number 3. Bank overdraft protection. Imagine you're at the store buying a $2 candy bar. You swipe your card, not realizing you only have $1 in your account. Banks won't simply decline the transaction. Instead, they'll spot you that $1 and demand $36 back the next day. That's overdraft protection. It's like calling a shark attack surprise dentistry. Instead of declining your $2 candy bar purchase, the bank approves it. Then they hit you with a $35 overdraft fee. That's a 1,750% markup on a candy bar. But here's the real scheme. Some banks will process your biggest transactions first, even if they happened last. Picture this. You have $100 in your account. You buy a coffee for $5, lunch for $10, and a $90 textbook. The bank processes the $90 textbook first, $10 left. Then lunch, $0, overdraft fee. Then coffee, another overdraft fee. You're now paying $70 in fees for buying things in the wrong order. Banks made billions from overdraft fees in recent years. And yes, this is completely legal, but you can opt out of this protection. Just tell your bank you'd rather have your card declined than pay their poverty penalty. Number 2. the credit score system. Your entire financial life is controlled by 3 private companies: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. These companies run a financial surveillance program on you. They track every bill you pay, every loan you take, and even how many credit cards you have. Then they turn all that info into a number between 300 and 850. Having no debt actually gives you a bad score. If you pay everything in cash and avoid debt, your credit score tanks. It's like being punished for being financially responsible. These companies make money by selling your information to banks and lenders, and they often get your information wrong. 1 in 5 Americans have errors on their credit reports. That's like getting an F on a test you didn't even take. In 2017, Equifax had a massive data breach. They left the door open, and hackers stole personal information from 147 million Americans. That's half the country, and Equifax just got a slap on the wrist and went right back to controlling your financial life. The system is designed to keep you in debt. Want a good credit score? You need to borrow money, but not too much. Use about 30% of your available credit, but also not too little, because then you're not building credit. They even sell you credit monitoring services. They're selling you access to your own information that they collected about you. It's like someone following you around all day, writing down everything you do, and then charging you to read their notes. Number 1. College textbooks. The biggest legal scam you probably fell for. You're looking at spending anywhere from $600 to $1,200 just for one semester's worth of books. These textbook companies aren't just selling you knowledge. They're running a perfectly legal scam. Take a basic calculus textbook. Calculus hasn't changed since Isaac Newton invented it while hiding from the plague in the 1600s. Yet somehow, publishers pump out new editions every 2 to 3 years, like calculus is getting weekly updates like your iPhone. Publishers literally just shuffle the practice problems around and maybe update a few pictures. That's the new edition you're paying $300 for. They make the homework problems different in each edition. So when your professor assigns Chapter 3, Problems 1 to 20, those numbers won't match up with the old edition. That $300 textbook you barely opened, the bookstore will offer you about $12 for it, because they know the publisher is about to release a new edition that will make your book worthless. Now publishers have invented something even more devious: access codes. These are one-time use codes that you need to submit your homework online. Can't afford the new textbook with the access code? You'll fail the class. Want to share a textbook with your roommate? You both need separate access codes. These access codes expire at the end of the semester, so even if you fail the class and have to retake it, you'll need to buy another access code. They've turned education into a subscription service. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.